Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you're all okay. Good to see you in the class today. So hello Eugene, how are you?
I'm fine.
What have you been doing this week?
Um, I've been playing some video games and doing doing my homeworks that I haven't done in the past few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you've been doing
And
your homework.
homeworks.
Yeah, homework is
Oh,
is it's uncountable. There's no S on the end.
oh,
So
okay.
you've been doing your homework.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. And anything else?
and I have online classes.
Mm-hmm. And how have the online classes been going?
Mm, um, it's pretty well.
Mm-hmm. They're pretty well. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Thank you. Hello, Chong.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good.
What have you been doing this week?
Online classes, doing my homework and trying to relax.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how have your online classes been going?
Pretty good.
Okay. Have you done anything interesting?
Nothing. I
Nope.
haven't done anything interesting.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Fantastic. Okay. Thank you. Who else? Hello, Terence. How are you?
I'm good, teacher.
What have you been doing this week?
I had online classes and do my homework.
You did your
Yeah, I did
homework.
my homework.
Uh-huh. Okay. And how have the online classes been going?
All right, just as usual.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Nothing,
Nothing
nothing
special.
interesting. Yeah.
Nothing interesting. Okay. All right. Okay. Excellent. Who else do we have in the class today? Hello, Carlson.
Hi, teacher.
How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. And what have you been doing this week?
Online classes, tuition, and I did my homework.
Okay. And how have the online classes been going?
Tired and boring,
Boring. Okay. Why?
because the teacher always say the same thing.
The teacher always says the same thing. Okay. Well, that's not good. Okay, thank you very much. Who else do we have here today? Hello, Serena. How are you?
I'm fine.
Very good. What have you been doing this week?
Um, I have online classes and doing my homework.
Okay. And how have the online classes been going?
Very good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good, good. Hello, Henry.
Hi teacher,
How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Okay. And what have you been doing this week?
Playing video games and doing my homework.
Okay. And what video games have you been playing?
RPG games.
Okay. Did you win?
Yes,
Oh,
I did.
good, good. Well done. Good. Okay. Hello, Liu.
Hi, teacher.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
And what have you been doing this week?
Having online classes and complete my tutorial.
You completed your tutorial?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well done. Very good. Okay, so good to see everyone today. I hope you're all okay. So we're going to continue with speaking, okay? So I'm just going to share my screen with you. And we're going to talk about crime and punishment, okay, today. So what I'd like us to do is I'd like us to look at this exercise here. Let me just make this smaller. Okay, so I'd like you to think about different methods of tackling crime, okay? So here are different methods. Can anyone tell me what is this first method here? What's this method?
CCTV.
Yes, it's CCTV or it's surveillance cameras. Very good. What about this method here? What is this method?
Speech.
Yeah, what kind of a speech?
Speech about teaching the children not to how to deal with crimes.
Okay, and not to commit crime as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, very good. And who's giving the speech?
Police.
Yeah, the police. Excellent, very good. Well done, Eugene. Okay, what is this method here?
Using locks,
Mm-hmm. Using locks where?
locking the doors,
Yeah, so in your home. So securing your home with extra security and locks. Very good. What about this method here? What is this method?
Using sign to alert them.
Mm-hmm. And what does the sign say? What does the sign
If you
say?
if you drop, if you littering, you'll get fined what, $100?
Very good. Yeah. If you drop litter, you will get fined £100. What is a fine?
Get charged.
Yeah. So it's money that you've got to pay if you've committed a crime. Okay. Very good, Terence. And what about this last method here? What's this method?
Prison.
Okay. All right. Very good. It's prison. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is I'm going to put you into pairs in a moment. And remember, when I do put you into breakout rooms, I want you to use the time to speak in English, okay? Please do not sit there in silence. If I come into the room and I find you sitting there in silence, it's going to make me very angry. Use this time to practice your English. So in a moment, I'm going to put you into breakout rooms and I'd like you to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of each of these approaches, okay? And then I'd like you to decide with your partner which are the least effective and which are the most effective approaches to tackling crime, okay? Does everybody understand what the question is?
Yes.
Yeah. Are there any problems? Are there any questions about vocabulary? Any words you don't understand? No? Okay, so I'm going to put you into pairs now, into breakout rooms, and together I'd like you to talk about each of these approaches, to talk about CCTV or surveillance cameras, talk about giving a speech to children by the police, talk about securing your home, talk about fining people for dropping litter or other crimes, and talk about prison. And you've got to talk about the advantages and the disadvantages of each of these approaches, and then decide which are the least and most effective approaches. Okay? Okay, so if you can take a screenshot of this screen, and just let me know in the chat box once you've taken that screenshot. Fantastic. Thank you, Henry. Thank you, Eugene. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Terence. Thank you, Carlson. And thank you, Chong and Serena. Excellent. All right, so I'm going to put you into breakout rooms now. And then afterwards, I'd like you to tell me which one is the least effective and which one is the most effective, which method. All right.
Teacher, I think you put me into the wrong room.
Well, you've got two Zoom accounts, Henry. You've got Henry's mic and then Henry's she. So let me see if I can try and move you. Okay, so I've just moved you now to room 3. Can you join room 3, please? Okay, so Terence, what did you think the advantages were of CCTV?
CCTV can get evidence of for the criminals doing bad things, committed crimes. I mean,
Mm-hmm. And what are the disadvantages?
the disadvantages of surveillance camera is, I think, when a criminal they can avoid the sight of the surveillance camera. That's the disadvantages of CCTV.
Okay, okay. Leo, do you agree with Terence?
Yeah, I agree with Terence.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that for the CCTV, it may help us to prevent crime, as we can, we can refer to the CCTV and look at the person, whether they have some action that are abnormal, and so on. But I think that it also have a disadvantage for CCTV.
Okay, so there are some disadvantages.
Yeah, there are some disadvantages.
Okay, and what are the disadvantages?
Okay, for my opinion, I think that for a CCTV, it's not able to carry out an action immediately. If we knew that the person have committing crime.
Have committed a crime.
Have committed crime.
Okay.
And that's all.
Okay, that's very good. Thank you. Okay, Eugene, do you agree with Terence or do you agree with Leo?
Neither.
Neither of them? Okay, that's fine. What's your opinion?
I think the best way to deal with criminal are sending them to the prison.
Okay, so the best way to deal with criminals is to send them to prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Why? Why do you think that?
It is because prison is like a bigger school, but it is more strict. It
is stricter.
Yeah. It's used to teach the criminals how to be a better person and to punish them for the crimes they committed in their past.
Okay, very good. Chong, do you agree with Eugene or do you agree with Liu?
I could agree with Eugene because prison is a place where the criminals are sentenced there to think about what they've done, and it is a safer. It's a place that can make the community better by locking them up in the prison, and it will prevent harm from innocents.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Henry, do you agree with Chong or do you agree with Eugene?
I agree with John.
Okay, why?
The prison puts in the criminals for doing illegal things, and it makes our society more peaceful.
Okay. Okay, Serena, do you agree with Henry?
Yes, I agree with Henry.
Why?
Because it may decrease the crime
Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 So, Chong, what do you think the advantages and disadvantages are of giving a speech to school children?
Well, I think the advantages is that the students will be more educated about the world and they will know what will happen if you commit crime.
Okay, so the advantages are, okay, not the advantages is, the advantages are. Yeah, okay, anything else?
And the disadvantages are that some students will not pay attention or not listen to the police officer when they are explaining about the punishments if you commit a crime.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very
and
good.
they would commit it as if because they didn't pay attention.
Excellent. Very, very good. Well done. Good. Liu, do you agree with Chong?
No.
Okay, that's fine. What do you think?
For me, I think that sorry, the most effective approach that I think is the fine.
Okay. Okay, why?
Because it may help to remind the others for those who have dropped the litter or maybe some crime, not so serious crime,
Mm-hmm.
and may help them to make a reminder. They will be learn a lesson through playing it.
Okay, so it will give them a reminder.
Yeah.
Or it will remind them. Okay, all right, that's interesting. Eugene, do you agree with Chong or do you agree with Liu?
I think I agree with Chong.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's because they can learn how to be a better person,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone can be teach to become a new person, a better person. Even that they committed crimes in the past, but they can still be teach.
They can be taught.
Yeah, they can be taught to
Mm-hmm.
to be a better person,
Mm-hmm.
to get a new life,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can release them back to the society and live like a normal person.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good, excellent. Terence, do you agree with Eugene or do you agree with Chong or Liu?
I agree with Chong.
Okay, why?
Because if those kids not pay not pay attention or not take it seriously, they maybe committed crime without knowing it.
Mm-hmm.
They were committed crime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, very good. Henry, do you agree with Terence or do you agree with Eugene?
I agree with Terence.
Okay, why?
If the crimes are ignored, they will cause havoc and chaos to the society.
Excellent, very good. They will cause havoc in society. Very good, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Society.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
No.
No, okay, very good. Serena, do you agree with Henry or do you agree with Eugene?
Um, I agree with Henry.
Okay, why? Why, Serena? Serena, why do you agree with Henry?
Um,
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's move on. Terence, what do you think the advantages and the disadvantages are of securing your home?
The advantages of securing our home are to prevent robber to break in.
Okay, so to prevent a burglar from breaking in. To prevent a burglar from breaking in. Mm-hmm.
While the disadvantages of securing our home is the if the lock is not if the lock if the locks are not big or sturdy enough,
Very good.
the burglar will may can be break it to our house and cut the lock. Yeah, cut the lock and break in our house. That's the disadvantages.
Those are the disadvantages. Okay, excellent. Okay. Leo, do you agree with Terence?
Yeah, I agree with Terence, but I think that it also have a disadvantage for locking our door. So for the disadvantage is we are unable to open the door, if we lose the key or we forget to bring it. And it may become more dangerous as you may lock yourself in the house.
Very good. Excellent. Very good. Eugene, do you agree with Terence or do you agree with Leo?
I agree with Terence, but I think alongside with the door locked, the windows should be locked as well. Just like the tiny window in the picture above the door, it should be
Very
protected
good.
as well.
Very good.
It's because that the criminal or the robber can break into your house or your room by breaking through the window.
Very good. Okay, excellent. Chung, do you agree with Eugene or do you agree with Leo?
I agree with Eugene.
Okay.
Because you have to secure everything because burglars are very sly and smart. They can use any tactic to break into your house.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. Excellent. Okay. And Henry, do you agree with Chung or do you agree with Leo?
I agree with Eugene. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, with Eugene. Okay. Why do you agree with Eugene?
I think a security door should be made out of metal instead of wood because if it's made out of wood, it can be easily broken with something like an axe or crowbar.
Crowbar. Okay, excellent. That's very good. Well done. Very good. Okay, Henry, what are the advantages and disadvantages of fining people if they have dropped litter?
The advantages of finding people is that they make sure that people obey the law and not litter anywhere, and also reminds them. And for the disadvantages is that a simple sign like that won't guarantee to be obeyed by everyone, and they may still litter everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Serena, do you agree with Henry?
Yes, I agree with Henry.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Because it can prevent others to commit crime.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so you can prevent people from committing crimes. Okay, very good. And the last one, Chung, what do you think the advantages and disadvantages are of going to prison?
Well, I think the advantages is that they will stay there and think about what they have done.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very, very good. Excellent.
And the disadvantages is that sometimes the criminals are very smart and they can find any weak points of the prison and break out.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Okay, very good. Excellent. Eugene, do you agree with Chung?
Yes, I agree with Chung. It's because when a criminal breaks out of the prison, will cause havoc and make the society fear. It will cause fear in the town with which the prison is located, or the city, because the people know there's a criminal running around the city, and they don't know about where the criminal is.
Excellent. Very, very good. Well done. Terence, do you agree with Chung or do you agree with Eugene?
I agree with Chung.
Okay, why?
Because prison can keep innocent people away from the criminals, and prison is very secure, and it's very secure. There will be have police guarding it, yeah, and I think prison can let criminals to have a chance to reform.
Very good, to reform. Excellent. Very good. Very, very good. Leo, do you agree with Henry or do you agree with, do you agree with Terence or do you agree with Eugene?
I agree with Terence. As the tutor mentioned that the prisoner may reform themselves in the prison, as we know that some of the prison will provide some works or some lesson for them to learn. But I think that there's also one disadvantage. So, in my opinion, the disadvantage is maybe we know that some of the prisoner who have commit a crime that are not so serious are also will be sent into the prison. But I think that maybe they may gain a chance, like paying a fine or doing some charity works that been supervised from the police. to I don't know how to say the word. To sorry.
That's okay.
To reform themselves.
Yeah, very good. Okay, excellent, very good, well done. Okay, Henry, do you agree with Leo or do you agree with Eugene? Henry, do you agree? Who do you agree
Eugene.
with? Okay, why do you agree with Eugene?
Because prison is a place to make criminals change their mind and become a better person than before they were in the prison.
Very good, excellent. Anything else?
No.
Okay, Serena, do you agree with Henry?
I agree with you.
Oh, you agree with Leo? Okay, why do you agree with Leo?
Because I also think that they may get a chance through so
Okay. All right. Okay. So I don't think we can hear you very well, Serena. Okay. So let's continue. So I was listening to you speak there. That was very, very interesting, everybody. Thank you very much for your opinions. Okay. So just a few grammar corrections. To prevent a burglar from. So whenever you use the verb prevent, the preposition that you use with it is from, to prevent a burglar from breaking in, okay? And a burglar is the name of the person who breaks into houses. Okay? A thief is, oh, I spelled that wrong, sorry. A thief is the name of someone who is just a criminal who steals things. A thief, okay. Does anybody know what a robber is?
Stealing money.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, where does the robber steal the money?
Bank.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, so robs from banks. Okay. Does anyone know what a mugger is?
Persons who attack and robs another in a public space,
Yes,
public place.
very good. Kelston, I'm so sorry. I have just seen that you're in the class today. I haven't asked for your opinion. I'm so sorry. Thank you very much for your answer. During that discussion, I didn't ask for your opinion. I'm so sorry. I've just seen that you're in the class today. But yes, you're absolutely right. So what is a mugger, please, Kelston?
A person who attacks and robs another in a public place.
Very good. It's usually on the street. Okay. What about a pickpocket? What is a pickpocket? Any ideas?
Stealing from
Stealing
others'
monies.
pockets.
Yes, very good. Yeah, excellent. Stealing from somebody's pocket. Or bag. Okay, and what about a shoplifter? What is a shoplifter? Any ideas?
Person that steals good from a shop.
Very good. Steals goods from shops. Excellent. Very, very good. Well done. Okay. Okay. What else? Yes. So those are the different types of criminals. Okay. And then the verb to reform. Another word I'm going to give you is to deter. Has anyone seen this verb before? To deter.
For me, no.
No? Okay. So, for example, a fine would deter somebody from committing a crime.
To discourage.
Yes, excellent, Carlson. Very good. It means to discourage. Okay. And the noun is a deterrent. Okay. So prison is a deterrent, meaning that you know that you will go to prison if you commit a crime. So you are discouraged from doing it. Yes. Okay. Okay. What else? Some grammar problems. Okay. So when you're talking about one advantage or one disadvantage, the verb is in the singular. Okay, because the noun is singular. Okay. So one advantage is. Okay. Or one disadvantage is. Okay. But then when you're talking about the plural, if the plural noun has an S on it, the advantages, the verb has to be plural. So the advantages are. Okay, so now the verb is plural. Or the disadvantages are. Okay. And when you use the quantifier some is used with plural nouns. So Liu, you were talking about in prison, the criminals or the prisoners will be taught some lessons. Okay. So you put an S on the end of the noun. But then they could do some charity work or some work. Work is a plural noun, but it's uncountable. So there's no S on the end of it. Okay. And then some of the prisoners. Prisoners is a countable noun. So you need to put an S on the end. Okay. And then they are sent to prison. I think, Henry, you made that mistake. They are sent to prison. So you put the preposition sent to. And Liu, or I think this was Chong, I can't remember, but they are no, it was Liu. Liu, they are supervised by. Okay, so when they are in prison, they are supervised by. That's the preposition you use. Okay. And Eugene, the past of teach is taught. Okay. So teach.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay. And let's look at the pronunciation of some words. The pronunciation of this word is metal. Henry, can you say this word for me, please?
Metal.
Very good. And the pronunciation of this word is crowbar. Henry, can you say that word again for me?
Crowbar.
Very good. And then the pronunciation of this word is criminals. Henry, can you say that word for me?
Criminals.
Very good. Excellent. All right. Well done, everyone. Okay. So Kelsson, just before we stop and have a little break, I didn't ask your opinion, and I'm very sorry. Let's go back to this discussion. Kelsson, what do you think is the most effective approach to tackling crime?
Prison.
Okay, why?
It is a effective way to deal with crimes, and
Mm-hmm.
it ensures that the law is respected by them.
Sorry, what does it do?
It ensures that the crime respect the law.
Okay, so the criminals in respect the law. It ensures that criminals respect the law. Okay. And what is the least effective method of tackling crime?
I think the least effective method is signboard. It is because they need to use CCTV around it. If not, people wouldn't care about it.
So sorry, what was the least effective?
The signboard.
The signs. Oh, okay. So fining people. It's not a sign, it's a fine. Making people pay a fine. Is that what you think, Kelsson?
Yes.
Okay, why?
It is because some people will not care about it and they ignore the sign.
Okay, excellent. All right, Chong, do you agree with Kelsson?
Yes.
Okay, why?
Because some people will not care if they get fined because they will pretend that they did not see the sign.
Mm-hmm.
And they will continue to just do the thing that is not allowed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, excellent. Very, very good. Well done. Okay, well done, everyone. Thank you very much for your opinions. Good to hear you speaking a lot more today. Okay, so we're going to have a little break, give you a chance to go to the toilet if you need to go to the toilet or get a drink. So I will see you back here in the class in 10 or 10, maximum 15 minutes, okay? But not more than 15 minutes, okay? All right, so I'll see you very soon. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so welcome back. Good to see you back in the class. Okay, so we're going to continue on the theme of crime. So what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to take a look at these pictures. What can you see in these pictures? What's happening in these two pictures?
The woman is stealing things.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and where is she stealing things from?
From a shop.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And what's happening in the second picture?
Is it drugs?
Yeah, so that it looks like they're taking drugs, but where are they? Where can you see them?
At their house.
Okay. It doesn't look like it's their house. It looks like they've gone into a house that they don't own. So what do we call the type of people who go into and live in a house that is not their house? It's not their property. Do you know what the name for those criminals are?
Is it burglar?
No, they're not a burglar. They're called squatters. Okay. So let me just share this with you. Okay. So the verb is to squat and the noun is a squatter. Okay, so the person who breaks into a house and lives in that house, if they don't own the house or the flat or the apartment, they are called a squatter. Okay, and the verb is to squat. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's go back to this. Okay, so which is the worst crime in your opinion? Which crime is the worst? The girl who is shoplifting or the teenagers who are squatting? Which is the worst
The
crime?
teenager.
The teenagers? Okay, why, Carlson?
It's because their cases are more serious.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Terence, do you agree with Carlson?
Probably no, because maybe the house or property owner is not is or the house is got abandoned, so they just, how do we call squat?
Squat, yeah. A squatter breaks into an empty or an abandoned house, and they live there without permission. So it is a crime. So do you still think that? What is your opinion? Which is the worst crime?
I think I I agree with Kelson.
Okay, why?
Because the property or house is not owned by them.
Mm-hmm.
So so it is a worse crime than stealing a thing.
Shoplifting. Okay, so this crime here, let me just remind you of what the crime is. So this crime here is called shoplifting. And the person is called a shoplifter. Okay. Whereas this crime here is called squatting. That's the action. And the person or the people are called squatters. Okay. Oh, I've spelled that wrong. Ouch. Let me just correct that. Okay. All right. Chong, do you agree with Terence and Kelson?
Yes.
Why?
Because if they are living in an abandoned house or somebody else's house, it is illegal and it is much more worse than shoplifting.
Okay, so it's much worse than shoplifting. Much worse than shoplifting. Not much more worse. It's much worse. Okay, very good. Leo, do you agree with Kelson, Terence, and Chung?
Yes, I agree with them.
Why?
As I think that even though the house is already been abandoned, but the owner have the right to sell it. Maybe when they want to sell, they will figure out that there are some squatters who have destroyed their house and do some painting on it. It may lead the price of the house to decrease.
Very good.
It's a loss for them.
Very good. What's the name of the painting that they do on the walls? What's the word for that? Any ideas? What is that called?
Vandalize.
Okay, so it's called vandalism. So they're vandalizing, but let me just share this with you. So the actual noun is vandalism, but the painting, the writing on the wall is called graffiti. Okay, graffiti. Yeah. All right, very good, excellent. Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is a little while ago, I gave you some nouns for different crimes. So vandal, kidnapper, arsonist, blackmailer, shoplifter, smuggler, mugger, drug trafficker, hijacker, pickpocket, and murderer. Okay. So these are the different criminals, and these are the crimes that they commit. So a person who kills someone, what is a person who kills someone? What's the name?
Murderer.
A murderer. Very good. A murderer. Okay. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to complete these sentences, and in the chat box, let me know once you have finished. I'd like you to match the names of the criminals to the crimes they commit. And in the chat box, just let me know when you have finished, okay? Okay. Okay, thank you, Eugene, and thank you, Serena. Excellent, well done, everyone. Okay, so let's take a look at the answers. Okay, so let's look at number 2. A person who takes goods into or out to, sorry, start again, takes goods into or out of a country illegally. What is the name of that person? Any ideas?
Smuggler.
Very good, excellent. Was that Kelson?
Yes.
Yeah, well done, Kelson, excellent. Okay, and what about number 3? A person who deliberately sets fire to a building.
Arsonist.
Very good. Is that Chong?
Yeah.
Yeah, well done. Good. Okay, and then what about number 4? As a person who steals things from people's pockets or bags in public places.
Pickpocket.
Excellent, very good. Is that Carlson again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very good. And then the next one, number 5, a person who threatens to give away secrets unless he or she is given money. What's the name of that person?
Blackmailer.
Very good. Was that Eugene?
No, that's Terence.
Oh, Terence, I'm sorry. Very good, Terence. Yep, so it's called a blackmailer. Excellent, very good. And then number 6, someone who takes things from shops without paying for them. What's the...
Shoplifter.
Yeah, very good, excellent. Well done, everyone. And then number 7, someone who holds someone prisoner until he or she is given money.
Kidnapper.
Kidnapper.
Very good, excellent. And then the next one, number 8, someone who takes control of an aeroplane by force.
Hijacker.
Very good, well done, everyone. And then the next one, a person who deliberately damages other people's property.
Vandal.
Vandal, very good. Was that Chong? And someone else, I don't know who else it was, but well done.
Chong and Kelson.
Okay, very good.
Not me. It was Liu.
It was Liu. Okay, I'm very sorry, Liu. Well done. And I haven't come to recognize your voices yet, but I will start to recognize your voices. And number 10, a person who attacks people in the street and steals their money.
Mugger.
A mugger, very good. Excellent. Who was that? Kelson?
Yeah.
Yeah, well done, Kelson. Good. Excellent. Okay, any questions? Does anyone have any problems with vocabulary? No? Okay, very good. Well done, everyone. Okay, so we're going to look at some verbs now. That's too big. Let's make that smaller. Okay, so we've looked at these verbs a moment ago, but I just want to look at them again. So looking at these verbs, the verbs are to burgle, to rob, and to steal. I'd like you to match these verbs with the appropriate pair of nouns. So burgle, rob, or steal an office or a house. What do you think the correct verb is?
Burgle.
Burgle, very good. Excellent. That was Chong?
Yeah.
Yeah, well done, Chung. Excellent. Okay. What about the next one? Money or jewellery? Which verb?
Steal.
Steal. Very good. Excellent. Yeah, you steal money or jewellery. And then the last one, a bank or a person?
Rob.
Rob. Excellent. Very, very good. Well done. Okay. All right. So what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to think about punishment. Okay, so look at the following types of punishment which can be given in courts, and I'd like you to put them in order of the most severe. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 is being the most severe. And 5 is the least severe. Okay. So I'd like you to look at these types of punishment. So A, to sentence someone to life imprisonment. B, to order someone to do 200 hours of community service. C, to sentence someone to death. D, to order someone to pay a £200 fine. And E, to give someone a 2-year prison sentence. Does anyone have any problems with vocabulary? No? Okay, so I'd like you to put these punishments in order of severity and let me know in the chat box once you have finished. Okay? So just waiting for a few more students to let me know that they have finished. Thank you, Eugene. Thank you, Terence. Okay, I think that's everyone. Okay, well done, everyone. All right, so let's take a look at what you said. So, Liu, which was the most severe for you? Thank you, Henry.
Okay, for me, I think is to sentence someone to death.
Okay, so that's the most severe for you. That's number 1. Okay, very good. Number 2?
Number 2 will be to sentence someone to life imprisonment.
Okay, very good.
And number
3?
3 will be to give someone a 2-year prison sentence.
Okay.
Number 4 will be to order someone to do 200 hours of community service. And the last one will be to order someone to pay a £200 fine.
£200 fine. Okay, excellent, very good. Thank you very much, Liu. Chong, do you agree with Liu?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Why? Why do you agree with Liu?
Because to sentence someone to death is much more gruesome than to do hard work. And the second one is, and paying a £200 fine is much more easier than to be sentenced to death.
Okay, very good. Okay. All right. Does anybody disagree with Liu?
No.
No? Does everyone agree with her?
Me.
Who's me? Who's me?
Terence.
Terence, okay. Why do you disagree with Liu?
For me, number 3 is to order someone to do 200 hours of community service. Because that person can't have rest, so I think it is severe too.
Okay. Okay, does anyone agree with Henry?
I'm Terence.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Terence. Sorry, does anyone agree with Terence? Does anyone disagree with Terence?
I agree with Liu.
Okay, is that Kelson?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Why do you agree with Liu?
My opinion is exactly same with her.
Okay, your opinion is exactly the same as hers. Okay. Anything else?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Well done, everyone. Okay, so let's just very quickly look at some grammar problems that some of you have been making today. Okay, so let me. Okay, so all right, so Chung, I've noticed a few times when you were talking and you wanted to make the comparative, you were putting the word more in front of an adjective when you make the comparative by just adding er. So remember, adjectives which only have one or two syllables, so easy, for example, or soft, or kind, or healthy. All of these syllables, all of these adjectives, because they only have one or two syllables, when you make the comparatives become easier, okay, or softer, or kinder, or healthier, okay? You don't put more in front of them, okay? But you do put much if you want to make it much, okay? You use more when the adjective has more than two syllables. So interesting, okay? Or exciting, or comfortable, okay? All of these adjectives have more than two syllables, and that's why you put more in front of it. Okay, Chung?
Okay.
All right. And also, Kelson, my opinion is exactly the same as hers. Okay?
Okay.
All right, excellent. Okay, good. Right. So, what I'd like you to do now is I'm going to just share some vocabulary. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just get this ready for you. Okay. Have I shared this with you before? Expressions. Did I share this with you last week?
No.
Yes.
Nope. Yes.
Huh?
Did I? Okay.
Maybe
Before. In
our
okay.
first
All right.
meeting.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So when you're talking with your partner, and I put you into breakout rooms, I'd like you to use these expressions. Okay. So when you're expressing your opinion, sorry for a second. When you're expressing your opinion, you use "in my opinion," or "from my perspective," or "from my point of view," or "as far as I'm concerned," or "it seems to me that," or "personally," "I think that," "I believe that." Okay? When you're asking your partner for their opinion, you must always, because you have to interact with each other, ask questions like, "What do you think?" Or "What about you?" Or "Can you give me your thoughts on the topic?" Or "Do you agree?" or do you disagree? Okay, all right. And then if you agree or you disagree with your partner, you can say, I don't really think that, or I don't think that's true. Or you can say, I agree with you to an extent, or I disagree with you to an extent. Or you could say, that's a good point, or that's a good idea. Okay, so it's important to agree or disagree, as well as asking your partner's opinion. And then when you make a suggestion, you could say, I suggest that, or how about, or do you fancy? And then you put the verb in the ing form, going to the beach, or we could, or shall we? Okay. And then when you interrupt someone, so in the exam, when you come to do the exam next year, if your partner is talking too much, it's important to make sure that you politely interrupt them because you want to have the opportunity to speak. So I'm sorry to interrupt you. And then at the beginning of the dialogue, you can say, shall I start? All right. Okay, so I'd like you to take a screenshot of this. And let me know in the chat box once you've taken the screenshot. Fantastic, thank you. Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Kelsey. Thank you, Henry. Thank you, Serena. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Terence. Thank you, Chong. All right, because I'd like you to use these expressions when you're talking to your partner. Okay, so the last thing I'd like you to do today is I'd like you to do some more speaking. Okay. Also here, okay, so I'd like you to discuss what the punishment should be for the people below, okay? So what punishment should be given to the person or the people below? So for example, the first one is a 73-year-old woman who stole a scarf from a department store. Three 16-year-old vandals who set fire to litter bins and sprayed paint on parked cars. A gang of armed men who hijacked a plane with 135 passengers on board and threatened to blow it up. 2 men who mugged another, robbing him of £10 and breaking several of his teeth. And a businessman who has earned millions from drug trafficking. Okay. Does anyone have any problems with vocabulary? No? Okay. So I gave you some expressions. So giving your opinion, in my opinion, to my mind, that's another expression you could use. From my point of view, personally, I think, I strongly agree or believe. And then when you're agreeing and disagreeing, I totally agree. I think so too. I agree to a point. I really don't think so. I completely disagree. All right. So I'd like you to take a screenshot of this screen, please, and let me know in the chat box once you've taken that screenshot. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Kelsey. Thank you, Serena. All right, so I'm going to put you into breakout rooms again. Please use this time to talk, okay? This is an opportunity for you to practice your English. So it's a very, very good opportunity for you to improve your speaking skills, all right? So I'm going to put you into breakout rooms and I'd like you to decide what punishment, together you discuss what punishment should be given to the person or the people, but in these situations here. All right. Does anyone have any questions? All right. Okay. Well done, everyone. Okay, so that was very interesting today, everyone. You were talking a lot more than last week, and you had lots of really interesting opinions. Thank you very much for all your hard work today. Have a great evening, and I will see you next week. All right? Okay, take care, everyone.
Goodbye, teacher.
Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye.
We should
Bye,
have
teacher.
a good day.
Bye-bye.